Hey guys, let me get into the stream. Okay, we're good. All right, guys, welcome. Thanks all for coming. Let's wait a few minutes, get some people in the room. And shoot the shit a little bit. You can see I labeled it. I'm not sure where this is going because I don't. So let this work. Hi. Who's here? Okay, Lucia. Okay, I was about to text you, Karen. Okay, hi, Tyler. Hi. Good. Um, fuck that. I don't need to do that shit. That'll be fine. It's recorded anyway, right? Hello. Leah's here. Hi. Hey now. Yes, that label was intriguing. Hey, Summer. How are you? Yo. We'll get some people in the room and we'll come up with some shit to talk about. Yeah, I love the cup too. God the fuck up. No, official channel. I'm not doing one-on-ones anymore. I just have the apprentice program. It's a little full up right now. But you can email me and then I'll put you on the list and we can do interview when time comes. Yeah. I think that might be enough. Let's see who's in the room. Hey, Brett, what's up, boo? 16 in the house. I'm supposing we could share this on Facebook. I don't do much there anymore, but let me go and flip it over there. Put it on my timeline. Oh, come on, Snappy. All right. Almost there, guys, and then we'll get going. Thanks all for tuning in and hanging out with me for a few minutes while we get this up and running. Post. All right. Share to a group. How to see ascension. Post. Booyah. Okay, we're live. Uh, where are all the thumbs up, y'all? Like and subscribe. Don't worry about that. All right. I had a email. So let's go ahead and start. I had an email about a person, and they emailed me about particular ideas, and they had a lot of questions, and this is what spawned it. And I didn't answer the email for a few days. Usually I'm, Johnny on the spot, so to speak, about answering emails. But this one is like, nah, because it wasn't the right time, and just, you trust that internal. And this is the first part, and then we're going to see where we're not sure where it's going to go. But let's handle this, and I think this is where we're going to go. So, um, it was about questions. They had so many questions, and I had a lot of questions, a lot of questions. When I did the work. A friend of mine, Victoria, said to me today something very intriguing that I understood about myself. On a race car track, we'll do left turns, ovals, right? NASCAR. I love NASCAR. Anyways, so you're driving, and I'm here, and your guys are over here. Not literally, but just a comparison. So you see this person here, and you're back here, and you just got to catch up, right? And you think you sell yourself a story. Okay, no, you didn't miss anything, Kaylin. We just started about my favorite video games. I'm playing a Sniper Elite 4 and Fallout 4 are my games. Anyways, so Victoria had this meditation where I was ahead of her on the track, and I went and grabbed her and brought her over here, so she didn't have to travel down this road. It's not a have to. It doesn't matter. I mean, we're forever. So where's the loss in forever? By the way, I have garlic, roasted potatoes, and onions in the oven. So a beep might happen. So I'm going to have to run real quick and get that out. Anyways, so I thought about that, and I thought about the idea of questions in relationship to that. My questions led me to understandings. They did. It was part of my journey. But there was also an internal idea about questions that is very personal and very intimate. And it takes a command of courage. Hello, darling. It takes a command of courage to trust the answer. And sometimes the answer about questions is you don't need to know that shit. And that's what part of my acceleration of the journey is. I'm sowing and reaping realities every day. Hello, Max. Every day, I'm sowing and reaping realities. Every second, every now, and I'm putting and getting back the experience. Whatever the day is, it's not about the objects, not about the routine, not about making coffee, practicing flute, coming on here live, playing some video games, making lunch. Those are the details that keeps humans in purpose and distraction and accomplishment. Okay, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the relationship where I'm focused creates the experience in the now, right? And questions were very valid for me. But what they did for me is take me on a journey. So of that idea to where I ended up right back to where I started. So you're behind me on the track. For those of you who just joined, this is an oval track. I'm over here, you're over here, you're trying to catch up with me, and I see you, and I just grab you and bring you over with me. So this is one of those moments in supposing. It's not certain. Everyone chooses a reality. We're all grown up now, right? So the idea behind this, and the first particular idea was questions. And then we're going to skip along Fandango to another idea. But the questions, the relationships to reality, the relationships to stories you're telling you, Make no mistake about it, your entire life is a fucking story. Don't sell yourself that any of this shit matters, because it doesn't. You're invincible. You're eternal. You can never go away. This is another particular now. Your value of it is the particular now of the incarnation. That's what it is. That's it. Don't make it more than that. It's just the experience of the unknown incarnation called humanity that you get fucking front row seats to because you created a body, your pimped ride to come down here and enjoy the planet through the idea of emotional value. That weighted value gives the human experience. You are woken and you can see the internal journey, right? Questions was one of those things. It was an appetite. It was like, oh my fucking God, I gotta have that. I gotta have that. I gotta have that. Gotta know what that is, right? I gotta have that, because that's gonna make you into something. Bullshit. Nothing can make you when you already are all that fucking is. Okay. You gotta get that. You can't sell yourself as independent. You are a singularity of all that is. It's all consciousness. You have to understand you create your reality through that. You do not stand apart. You're not important and you sure as fuck aren't special. You're an idea of that experience. When you see that's the story that you are selling yourself, then you can see that the questions, the relationship to those answers, to those appetites, to those pursuits are just a choice of an experiential now that have nothing to do with the price of fish in China. Nothing. It's just another fucking now. Time is created. Time is a created experience. It's not permanent. It's not all over the galaxies. It's not in other universes. It's nowhere except right here in your human experience. That's where time is. So look at those things about the relationships that you hold value as dependencies, certainties, as a way to structure yourself. Okay? I want you to listen to those things about you. I want you to look at the fucking story you're telling yourself. It's not a wrong story. Oh, no, 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 no. And it ain't a right story. It's your story. Can you own that? Can you own that fucking shit right now? Can you own it's your story? You don't know that you can command it, but you can command out of demand. Who demands? Your fucking ego. Who commands? Isness. There's no such thing as patience. Why do you need patience when you're forever? When there's no loss, because all of creation is all that is, and you are whole. Loss is a created experience. Success, gain is a created experience. Right? These are the stories that you're telling yourself. You got to notice yourself again. Questions were related to the story. That's where they come from. They're birthed from your story. So when you're an awakening story, questions seem to give answers. No, they don't. There are relative questions that are internal questions, which are evolutionary questions. Fuck yes. There are some good questions. But there's a lot of questions that's just complete fucking diarrhea. Just things that are just transient. And I want you to look at the stories behind those questions. If I don't get this answer, am I going to disappear into nothingness? Is my awareness going to be experienced? Is my future going to be at a loss? If I don't get this and understand this as a structure, a part of me, that my ego sells me the story that says without this answer, you're going to fail, then maybe you can look at that as an evolutionary idea instead of a cyclic answer. Our school systems tell us these things, that knowledge is power. Bullshit. You're fucking the entire creation. How do you get more powerful than that? You just don't know it. You just don't value it because you value the separation, the story of separation, the identity you sell yourself every day, the mediocrity, the hope, the arrogance, the pompous, the stand upon another, always begging people to value you. Even your ego telling you, golly, you got it. All of these things are relationships. The reason why I brought up questions is because there's two selves in that world. The questions, I think, here's a question from, I'm not going to pronounce your name. Have you ever heard of the Disclosure Pod? If so, what's your stance on it? Disclosure Pod, Dr. Ruger. I don't give a fuck about that because it doesn't make me a better person. See, that's a transient question to me. That doesn't give me what I need to know. Because what will happen is, I'm going to call you M because I can't pronounce your name. M is if that valuable question in your vibrational reality is to understand that from your point of view as a truth, then why wouldn't it be attracted to you? When the law is attraction. See, I have questions that I don't need. I have questions that's evolutionary. Then the answer will present itself. If I can't value it enough to trust my internal answer, and being a channel, I've got that one. But a lot of you don't trust your internal self because they sold you a story that internal self was make-believe, that's not real, that your imagination is, get back to reality, imagination is this la la land. Yeah, without imaginations, I don't have this fucking Apple. Fucking A for imagination. I don't have fucking Amazon. Fucking A for imagination. So the next fucking asswipe that sells you a story that you have a big imagination, do yourself a favor. Walk the fuck away from that toxic motherfucker because you don't deserve that. So that right there, that if you can't trust this internal answer, then vibration will attract it for you. You just got to create a reality of having patience so you don't have that appetite of destruction to fucking go after everything, and then all of a sudden you're empty again and you need fuel. And again, another question, what about, yeah but, and you're fucking stuck cycling yourself into a tormented idea of reality. Great, bravo, fucking A, enjoy your ride. But this channel, this fucking master, me, says look at yourself, because that's what you're doing to yourself by creating that value. It's an internal journey, folks. It's all about you. Loving you is finding you. Choosing the awesome, the internal truth of the self, is finding you. The original, the singular that looks at reality uniquely without pause, without demand, without hesitation, without delay, without debate, without defense, without attack, without a posture, without a way to be as an accomplishing outcome. You're an isness. Can you own that? And what your mind is selling you is a fucking story of the human experience. It's a relationship to the causality of reality, the consequences, the hopes and the needs and the desires. I'm not saying for any fucking ounce of measure that you can't do that. Do that. But while you're doing that, I would highly recommend looking at the relationship with that. Is this my validation? Or is this an appetite that I need to fulfill my identity so I can have a purpose, so I can feel something other than the looming emptiness of no purpose or meaning? I can feel I am with an idea of a regard to something. If it's an answer, what about this? What about that? What about it? What about your reality in the now and the way you relate to it? Law is here and now, not there and then. Not about shoulda, coulda, what about, not about what is. It's about the here and now. Law of attraction. You exist, right? A lot of changes in my life. The value of me is birthing because I've done the fucking work. And the work is absolutely exquisite. Emotionally runs the gamut of the emotional value. And once you realize polarity in and of itself is a conditioning, a story you told you, even fucking joy is a limitation. Let me tell you, beyond polarity. Fuck you. Can't describe it to you. Uh, this is what you got to find. Maybe that's the reason why you came here, is to find your isness without any interpretation of it, without any looking at it, without posturing yourself as I'm happy, I'm this, I'm that, I know I am, and there's nothing more to know. Questions told me that story about myself. When I was asking emotional questions, I knew fucking damn well that's a story I was selling myself. So I can experience a value of an identity. And since I do that because I was born empty when I came to the planet, I birthed my ego outside of myself, and I always started looking from that approach and coveted those ideas of humanity as an identity. So my value of my existence was once again felt through a drug induced coma of dependencies. When I understood that emptiness is actually the path home, I ceased to pursue anything. And everything started coming to me because I wasn't putting up the blockers. I wasn't asking questions, defending my reality, validating my existence through paper or posture. I like the word posture today, apparently. Posture and approach, a thing to be. Look at me, right? It's absolutely excruciating, embarrassing when you start to fall in love with you, because it is an emotional feeling that is so heightened. It makes you cry and melt your heart, and then you realize it's the nature of you, and you're going to have to get used to it. You're going to have to be awesome. And every time you sow the story, you reap the story. Remember that. Every time you look at that and keep it alive and juggling in your reality to figure it out, disclosure, purpose, meaning, what's all this, what's that, how do I? That's just the story of the now. See, I was confused about something in my journey. Remember, don't fuck this up right now. Listen very closely. You're going to go through a series of truths, and some of those truths will no longer be your truth. And in your ego mind, you might sell yourself a story that that's wrong, or you should regret wasting your time. That's another story. That's another ego soliciting you to be an identity, because that's the habit of the human. So no one's in charge of it. The ego isn't an entity outside of yourself. Don't fucking be an asshole to yourself and say that that's something, as it's not. It's fucking you. Own it. All right. The humility part, the part that I had to accept about the journey, when you discover parts of you, and you look back at that and you're going, God damn, look at that truth. I was really valid about that. And then it discovered it's not a truth of mine anymore. It's a human journey truth. But the truth of reality is we're creators, and it's all true. But the relationship I was looking at that time was a posture, or a person I was projecting. It was an identity. And then I realized and evolved from it. And I woke up and I was like, wow, look at this truth. I have courage to let go of this rung of the ladder. Let me tell you what one of those was. Can you hang on a second? Hang on. Look at that. You were perfect. I love my intuition. I have potatoes. Hang on. Coming. Anyways, hi. I have potatoes and onions, garlic and onion roasted potatoes for tacos tonight. Wrap them up. Yummy. Okay, so one of the truths I realized, you know, all those other realities in your imagination, those are things that are happening. I realized they're not happening in time. They're happening in now. I'm just creating the now as those other timelines. Hang on, I think I have to sneeze. Now, other timelines are happening over there, somewhere in time. Well, I realized that was an objectification. That's my human experience. Because my experience is here and now. The channelers I channel, the channeled, are here and now with me. They're all having that experience of the now. So I realized a truth that I had to have the courage to let go of. You guys got to look at yourselves with brutal honesty and find those parts of you. And you may not notice them, but when you spot that fucking thing, you gotta have the courage to let go of that identity, to realize on the other side of that posture that you've been holding on to, and that dependency, and the way you've been and saying this and doing that doesn't mean shit. It's a created experience of the now. That's it. There's nothing else to it except the story you sell about it. Right now, you guys are defending realities in your mind, selling you the stories of other things. Those are here and now human experiences, aren't they? It's all real. But why does it have to be real over there? I want you to look at that fucking masterpiece, fucking part of the puzzle. That is not over there. It's here. And that's the relationship you're creating with your fucking now. That's a story. Is the story false? Is it real? Is it fake? See, that is the story you're telling yourself. There is no literal question about that reality. You're creating an experience. Is it true or not? Is there a parallel reality, the multiverse? Yes. And you can say no, because you know what that is? That's your reality. That's your experiential now. You must look how simple this is. And it's going to start pulling you. When you start to spot your mind selling you all these stories and the value you put into them, the reactionary emotional identity value, you're going to start pulling yourself back down into your isness. Back down to I am. And this is a place that doesn't feel like human. There's no emotional value you can equate to isness. None. It ain't happy. It ain't sad. It ain't suffering. It ain't joy. Fuck that. That is a condition of the human experience. It is so far beyond that. I can't label it. You have to find it within the kingdom. You've got to do the work. You've got to be honest. Look at me. I'm still talking about me. I'm still talking about them. I'm still saying that. All of that, right or wrong, is not the truth of that. All that is the way I'm choosing to create my reality. That's it. Everything is a story of the here and the now. The memories created in the moment to give you parts of those stories of the human time experience. We're in a space-time continuum. It's all part of the fucking package. To separate it and define it and try to navigate it is just simply one thing: your story. That's your journey. It's no one else's journey. None. There's no big answer to humanity. There's no big outcome. There's no higher truth. It's all right here and now, just for you, always for you, because you are eternally all that is. What's next? I guess we'll find out in the now, because that's where it's going to happen. No matter what you do, you can't dictate what's going to happen using your memory of vibrational lack to create that. Oh, you might have achievements and success. Of course, those are easy. Those are vibrational reality because your ego is sold on. So there's value in there. Of course there is. There's egoic. The universe, quote, the universe or law of attraction doesn't hold anything back from value. You got to look at your intimacy, your relationship, your truth about that. This is an internal journey. And for you to put yourself as an idea of an outside idea is keeping that journey, that story alive. You keep the ego alive. You keep the personality alive. The persona is always there. You just don't realize it. You wake up, you do the work, you find yourself. You find yourself, your entire reality, same fucking planet, is completely different to you because you're not relating to it through the story time of the emotional content. Right? The rights and wrongs, the yeses and the nos, the goods and the bads, the purposes and the meanings, the desires and the contracts and everything that you're supposed to be doing on this fucking planet is a goddamn story. There's no one in charge of creation. Nobody. Not even you. You're not in charge of you because you are you. Look at the fucking magnificence of that discovery. Fucking magnificent. All right? I want you to be okay with yourself. I was watching a movie today, and it was called The Upside. Kevin Hart and Brian. Brian, I can't remember your name. Fine, last name Stans. Oh, fuck. You know, Breaking Bad, badass fucking actor, just fucking epic. And anyways, The Upside with Kevin Hart, great fucking movie. I cried, of course. I cried. I was like, oh my god, and you cry. And I was going to the bathroom. I was getting up and going to the bathroom, and it reminded me of a moment in my life where someone in one of the classes was talking. I can't remember if it was the master classes or slide classes. Someone was talking about me peeing and that I stood up. And I was like, they assume I stood up. And I was like, no, I sit down. And I was going to the bathroom and I was about to sit down and I cried. I cried like a motherfucker at that moment. Why? Because I realized maybe I was sitting down because it was a purpose. Because women sit down. I've been sitting down for 11 years. There was a couple times I stood up because I wasn't brave enough to go in the women's bathroom at the beginning there. And then I said, fuck it. You know? The point is I had discovered a dependency, an image, a way to be, a projected identity. Women sit down to pee. So, am I supposed to sit down? Or am I supposed to stand up? Or can I do both? Or can I sell myself another story? Well, I'm both, and I can do whatever I want in the moment. Where the fuck is the truth about that? That's the work. Digging into your fucking belief systems with An absolutely objection, observer self that is neutral. Leave the emotions, feel the emotions, come alive in the emotions, but watch your emotions. Be a master observer. Be that fucking assassin and watch yourself reacting. I was like, God damn. I created this experience. It's part of my story. There's no fucking truth about it except what I am in the moment. There's no standard of that. I was holding a standard in time. I'm still going to sit down because I am that. But I still was holding that as an identity. Motherfucker. Now I still sit down, but I'm not doing it for a reason. I'm not doing it because I'm keeping up the identity. I was like, oh, fuck, bitch. Look at that. Look at that self, right? That's the work. The work is not good manners. The work's not how much of this you can do or that you can do. The work is to find and fall in love with you by choosing the fucking awesome. And it is an eternal journey. What? They highly recommend, watch, to walk the fuck away from anything that is keeping you there. When you feel the pull to keep you in that reality, you know it's time to leave. And the pull is maybe revenge, righting a wrong, a dependency, an obligation, fear, loss, all the identities that keep you sowing rather that story so you can reap it. You're in your individual world, and it's your kingdom. It is. Only you sell yourself a story to stay in worlds that are no longer valuable to you. And the worlds aren't just externalized, obviously. They're the relationship to the mirror reflected, right? So if you have two bubbles that are overlapping, two little identities, and here's the explosion of co-creation, which is happening all the time. This is just for 3D model references. And this is no longer your vibration. Why the fuck would you stay? Because it feels you should. How does it feel? Does it feel emotional? Or does it feel absolute slipstream? Because I stay when I don't have an emotional feeling about it. Because it's fucking awesome. It's slipstream. But when it becomes this emotional status, whether it's friction or, oh man, this is going to do so much for me, huh? I got to keep this up. I cut that fucking shit. You cut that cord, and I don't care who it is, because nobody owns you. Except with the story you tell yourself. Maybe it's dedication. Maybe you should be that idea. And then people will give you this and be proud of you. Meanwhile, you're suffering because you're keeping up an identity that you know goddamn well is no longer valuable to you. But you're so afraid to be awesome, as is, without a structure, defining you and begging for approval from externalization. Bingo. I love the fucking journey. I've loved what I've discovered. I've loved where my life is going. I loved every second. While I'm in the shitstorm, fuck no, I hated it. I was mad. I was angry. I was pissed off. I wanted to fucking end it. I just God damn it, the whole fucking gamut, because it's a masterclass I kept on telling me, and this is part of it. And I was selling myself a story. Keep going, you'll find it. And I did. I found my isness. I found my isness is my business. Doo-doo-doo. We're getting us some nice rain today. Yeah. So the idea about the changes you find, I promise you, and don't trust me, only trust your reality. And whatever's in your reality, trust that law of attraction brought it there. So don't trust me. Trust your reality that these words, when you do the work, there is an end to the vibration of humanity, and there is the birth of self-realized without identity. There's a knowing that is so powerful, it's unexplainable, it's unrelatable to one that sees themselves still. There will be a point where you don't see yourself any longer, because the all and the one are the same. You don't have to define it. We still have names and we still have things, but the relationship is completely different. It's an internal birthing of self in an infinite number of ways, all there for fucking you. Own that love. I have a student coming up, well, an apprentice. One of mine. I love her. In about 15 minutes. So, yeah, love that too. All right, guys. Listen. When you know it's time to end something, that's when you have to have the courage to let go. There's been so many endings in my life. And as soon as you let go, law of attraction never fails. Ever fails. It's like, you want to find the change in you? Stop telling yourself the same story. All right, listen. I love the fuck out of you because I love the fuck out of me. Go be your awesome. Sunday, I'm going to post it on the 11th. We have a round table. It's going to take place on this channel. So I'll post that up. So there'll be a round table. And Max will be there. Summer will be there. Kim, Isabel, I'm sure. Daniel, maybe. So anyways, we're going to shoot the shit about whatever it's my turn to come up with the subject. So I'll come up with something. I love you guys. Journey well, masters. Bid you a good day.